In this video, I'm gonna share with you how I never run out of things to say during a conversation. Whether you're talking to a friend or you're meeting somebody new, this works with anybody. I remember when a few years ago, there was this girl that worked out at my gym and I thought she was really attractive. So one of my coworkers, because I used to work at that gym, knew who she was and she was gonna introduce me to that person. And I was like, great, let's do it. So she introduced me, everything went well for the first few minutes. However, it came to a point where I didn't know what to say anymore. I was stuck in my own head because I thought there was this perfect thing to say for her to like me. And there was this awkward silence between me and that other person. And all of that happened because I was not really good at having conversations, and overall, I just didn't know what to say. So we had that awkward silence. And I don't know if you can relate to this, but you know that silence I'm talking about, because you just don't know what to say next, and you're your heart is racing. That's what happened to me. I didn't get the outcome that I wanted, all because I was stuck in my fucking head, and all because I didn't know how to lead a conversation. And I remember after that conversation ended, I felt so guilty because all I wanted was to be good at talking to people. All I wanted was to be really fucking good at conversations. So at that moment, I thought to myself, I will do whatever it fucking takes to become a good conversational speaker. And just overall, I'm gonna become the type of guy that can easily talk with anybody. Girl, guy, doesn't matter. No matter how attractive they are, no matter how fucking good they are at speaking, no matter how high status they are, I don't care. I just wanted to be someone that was really good at talking to people. And it wasn't about a year later, I found a communications program that I went through, and it taught me a few techniques I'm gonna share with you here today that overall led me to having conversations with anybody without me worrying about what they're thinking, without me being stuck in my own head, wondering what I should say next. And overall, now it's so easy to have conversations with anyone, all because I just learned about the sequence I'm gonna teach you here today, okay? So let me tell you the first key. Before I even get into the technique of what I do, you need to realize this, because this is the key to having amazing conversations with anybody. Key number one, I call it the free flow galore. What does that mean? During a conversation with someone, you need to just fucking let go of everything, meaning whatever comes out, okay? Whatever is on your mind, you're just gonna have to say it, because it's called free flowing. And this trait, by the way, is really fucking magnetic, because you're just saying what you wanna say without worrying about what that person thinks. So how do we actually do this and solidify this, okay? Nothing to prove, nothing to hide. No matter what conversation you enter, no matter what conversation I enter now, I have nothing to prove and nothing to hide. I am who I am. I have my personality. If you like me, fucking awesome. If you don't like me, fucking awesome. I'm literally just gonna show up as the real me, and whatever happens, happens. And I remember once I started doing this, conversations changed, because I stopped really worrying about what that person thought of me, all because I am who I am. And you need to realize this. There's only one of you and one of me. So there are going to be people that aren't going to like you when you talk to them, and that's completely okay. But there's going to be so many fucking people that like you for who you are, all because of just your unique personality. So you have nothing to prove and nothing to hide. This takes a little bit of practice, okay? But when you get good at free flowing, just speaking what's on your mind, and just overall having no conversation protocol, meaning no linear conversation, you're just speaking from your heart, that is so magnetic by itself. So there's one way that I do this, there's one way you could do this where free flowing just becomes easy, okay? And that's gonna bring me to my next point. It's called the CLQCR sequence, okay? What does that mean? Curiosity-led questions and then cold reads. That's all you're gonna do, okay? So when you wanna free flow, the way you could practice free flowing is you're gonna ask questions that are led by your curiosity. Now, I don't see any YouTube videos about this. I don't see anyone talk about this. This is literally the fucking superpower when it comes to overall having amazing conversations with people and never running out of things to say. Because if you build your curiosity muscle, you're always just naturally curious about everybody, you will always have something on your mind to say, no matter who the fuck you are. Okay, so from now on, if you're the type of person that's I don't know what to say in a conversation, now you're gonna use this curiosity-led questions. If someone says they fucking skateboard for a living, go by your curiosity. What questions do you have about skateboarding? It could be any fucking question. Literally I want you to, your questions are going to be led by your curiosity from now on. And if you do this right, you will always be just curious about that other person. Like, why are they the way they are? Why are they into that hobby? Why do they have that career? Just follow your curiosity and you'll like never have that problem just overall like what to say. Let me give you an example. Again, if that person's a skateboarder for a living, what's in your mind, what are you curious about that person? Well, you could always say like, okay, like who's your favorite like skateboarder, your pro skateboarder? You could always ask that, okay? Or once you build a little bit of rapport, you could say when was the first time you realized that like skateboarding was your passion, right? You could ask that. Go by your curiosity. And the power of this too is when you're actually curious about that other person and that question comes off with your curiosity, they will feel that. And what happens when someone feels a question that you're actually curious about? They want to answer it because they feel your energy. They feel that you're actually interested in that topic. You're not asking a bullshit question that anyone could ask, all because like you just don't care, right? Actually care about the other person and actually be led by your curiosity, okay? So when you do this, when you're actually following your fucking curiosity, you will naturally have this free flow like mindset. You will naturally have conversations that look like this. It'll go anywhere because you're just following your own curiosity and you don't care what that person thinks of you because you're just naturally curious about them. Now let me tell you another hack. If you're worried about what that person thinks of you, if you ask that question, what do you think that other person is thinking too? Because in my previous video, I talked about something called the spotlight effect. Literally, the quick summary is your brain is wired that 2 to 3 times more people is thinking about you than they actually are. Okay? That's how the human brain is wired. So if you're worried about what that person thinks of you, what the fuck do you think that person is thinking about? They're probably worried about what you think of them too. Okay? So you gotta realize this, everyone is constantly thinking about themselves. You're watching this fucking video, you're thinking about yourself too. When I'm speaking, I'm thinking about myself as well. So be led by your curiosity and just let the free flow come out. And not many people do this, but when you do follow this, it's so much more attractive to talk in that way because they can feel that energy and that you just don't care during the conversation and you're just more like, you show your personality when you're doing this, okay? So let's get to the second one, cold reads. So let's say you actually do reach a point where like you have nothing you're curious about, you don't know what to say. You could just say, I feel like you, or you seem like A, okay? So let's say someone's like talking to you and they haven't even told you their career. You could always say like, you seem like you're a lawyer. You seem like you went to Arizona State University. You seem like a nurse. This goes anywhere. And when you do this, when you say you seem like A or I feel like you're A, they will always be curious why you asked that. And you can just say why you asked it. Go by your curiosity, right? And don't, again, say things you actually mean too. Don't just say like, you seem like a teacher, just saying a bullshit thing. No, just be like, hey, you seem like you're an interior designer. You seem like you're the type of person that can light the fucking crowd like up and just overall make everyone want to be around you. You can literally say anything you want. The point of you doing this is so the conversation never feels like an awkward silence, right? So whenever you feel like that awkward silence is coming, you can always just resort to the cold read. It works with anybody, guy, girl, doesn't matter. I feel like you seem like A. So I'm at a bar right now, so I work behind the bar, I'm a bar back, and sometimes when people sit in my section, I still like to practice having conversations with them. I don't know who they are, and sometimes like I just want to just practice my speaking. So I literally, the other day, there was this lady that was sitting in front of me and she was eating her food and we were just talking for a bit. And I literally just said, you seem like you're a nurse. You have like this really caring energy about you. And then that whole conversation, she said, oh, why do you think that? Like, oh, like she was so curious about why I thought that. And we literally talked about like our careers and what we do and overall just bullshit for like 20 to 30 minutes. All because I asked that question. I was led by my curiosity. And that was, by the way, an amazing conversation I had with that lady. So literally, there's no like reason why you can't do this. It just takes practice, okay? Literally, anyone you fucking talk to, just go by your curiosity, ask what you're curious about, and if that conversation ever goes into like this awkward pause, just go with the cold read. Say whatever you want to say. You seem like you're really quiet. You seem like you're really shy. You seem like you have like 3 dogs. It doesn't fucking matter what you say. Just say what you truly mean. The energy is what matters the most when you're doing this. When you have good energy and you're overall just asking things that you're actually interested in, watch how that fucking person responds to you. So I'm gonna recap everything right here. You have nothing to prove, nothing to hide. You are gonna be a free-flowing galore during a conversation. You're just gonna say what you wanna say, and your conversations are just gonna look like this, by the way, which is this is literally what a good conversation looks like, okay? And then you're gonna go with the sequence, the CLQCR sequence, curiosity-led questions into cold reads. Again, use whichever one you're more comfortable with. I personally use the first one a lot more now because again, I'm way more comfortable having conversations with people, and it all takes practice. If I could do this, if I could just be the person that doesn't struggle as much having conversations with anyone, I know for a fact you can too, because I wish if you met me a few years ago, I was really fucking shy and I couldn't do any of this shit. So try this out for yourself. Notice how just try it. That's all I ask of you to do. Just internalize this sequence and just see how it works for you. And if it works really well, that's fucking awesome. That's what I'm here to do. This is literally what I use in my own life every single day, every conversation that I'm in. It naturally just became the person that I am. And when you do this, you're gonna realize how personable you are, and you're overall gonna realize how many people love fucking talking to you. I hope this video helps you. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comments, and subscribe for more content, overall getting better at speaking to people, having better conversations, and making the friends that you want. And overall, just being like a really likable person. So I hope this video helps, and I'll see you in the next one.